Hi guys, this is my second video. I haven't uploaded any since I got to Florence, so I'll start from the beginning. The plane ride wasn't as bad as I thought it was, or that it was going to be. I got a little bit of sleep. I had my first legal drink on the plane out of a little white plastic mug. It was super classy. Sat next to a girl named Kelsey and a girl named Ariel. They were very nice. So it wasn't extremely comfortable. It was kind of cramped, but I mean, what do you really expect? And then when we had our layover in Germany, we missed our flight, kind of. We got to the passport checking, and the two guys checking the passports are very, very slow. Like, they didn't care at all. So they ended up having to reschedule our flight for us, because for all 18 of us, because we weren't going to make it. And so we were about 30 minutes behind schedule. But that was okay. The flight from Germany to Florence was more comfortable, I think, probably because it was shorter. So then we finally got to Florence, and we moved into our apartment. It's adorable. There's pictures up. I'm sharing a room with a girl named Chelsea. Let's see. So our first night, we went to a place called the Yellow Bar. It's a very American name, but the woman, the housing coordinator for the Apicius school, recommended it to us, and so we went there. We got pizza and spaghetti and some Chardonnay, and it was delicious. I had my first limoncello shots, which were really, really good. They're very sweet. Let's see. And then we were going to go do something else that night, but we eventually decided not to, mostly because we couldn't find where we were trying to go. School started on Monday, so pretty much immediately. We went for orientation at 9 a.m. And, I had my first real Italian cappuccino and this little custard donut. It was the best thing I've ever had in my life. It was really, really good. The Italian espresso was one of the things I was looking forward to the most when I got out here, so I've been enjoying that pretty much every day. But our orientation was at 9 a.m. on Monday, and it was kind of slow. We were all pretty tired because we hadn't slept very much. But it was fun. So Monday night, we went out and celebrated my roommate Chelsea's birthday. She turned 22 on Monday. And so we went to a bar called the Red Garter. And that was fun. We just danced for a little bit. And we had a little, an aperitivo, which is some kind of, it's like a welcome drink with like a little tiny buffet. And that was fun. And it was delicious. It was sponsored by the Apicius school. So day 2, their full day 2 on yesterday was not as much fun as day 1. We walked a lot. The class that we're in this week is Introduction to Italian Language and Culture. And so we spend the first part of the day learning Italian, and then the second part of the day walking around Florence. There's a lot of walking, and it's really hot. We went to a market yesterday. It's put on once a week. It's only on Tuesdays, and it's just this really long stretch of little stores, little stands, really. Some are selling food, some are selling sandwiches, but most of them we noticed were selling like clothes and bags, and it was kind of like a swap meets farmers market type thing. It was really hot. And so we didn't even walk the whole thing because we just wanted to sit down in the shade, which we did. I'd started feeling kind of sick. I think I was dehydrated. So basically, so that made it a little bit less enjoyable. And then we went back to the school. We had to take a little tram around Florence because it's kind of far. And when we got back to the school, we were kind of held over 30 minutes late because a couple of girls kept getting lost, and that put us behind schedule. And so my roommate Chelsea was really, really sick, and then I was not feeling very well. And so my roommates all ended up leaving class early because Chelsea was really sick. And then she walked home, and she couldn't get into the apartment because her key doesn't work very well. And then my other roommate, like, they each had to end up going and helping them all get into the apartment, which they eventually did. But I ended up having to walk back to the apartment by myself, and I got lost around Florence. So nothing quite like being lost in 100-degree weather when you don't feel very well in a foreign country. That was fun. It was very frustrating. I probably walked around for a good 30-45 minutes before I finally found my apartment. I swear, the street that I'm on is the longest street ever, and I managed to find it at the end of the street. So I was at the end where it's like Via Ghibellina 208, and I had to walk all the way up to Via Ghibellina. I'm not going to give the address on the internet, but way up there. And so that wasn't as much fun. I literally, after that, came back to the apartment and just slept because I was exhausted. After that, I went to the computer lab and just went and uploaded some pictures to Facebook and talked to some people and sent my mom an email. But then what happened later was a lot of fun. The five girls who live in the apartment, and we all cooked dinner. So we all made just some spaghetti, and we had some sliced bread and some salad, and we all just had a family dinner, and we literally just sat and bonded. It was totally fun. It was nice, it was quiet, and yeah, it was good. It was the sauce wasn't fantastic, but that's okay. We'll all learn how to fix that later. A couple things that are really, really different about Florence. The drivers are crazy. In the U.S., the pedestrians have the right of way pretty much all the time, and here it's like playing chicken constantly. Vespas and cars will win. I mean, they'll probably stop but if they don't think you're going to move, but you need to move. I remember on our first day when the taxi driver was taking us to the apartment from the airport, I was about to have a heart attack because I swear he was playing chicken with a bus. I'm like, this bus is huge. It's going to smash us. But it did not. We're fine. I guess that's common here. They all just kind of drive like maniacs and very, very narrow roads. All of the roads are one way, so they're all very, very narrow. Parking's crazy. If I lived here, I would not drive a car. You don't see. I've yet to see a pickup truck. I've seen one minivan and maybe 5 SUVs, and they were all like Range Rovers, so you know that whoever's driving them is pretty wealthy. Everything else, super tiny. We've got Ford Fiestas, Mini Coopers, a lot of the Fiats, like the really, really small ones, all super, super tiny cars, because there's no room to park them. It's crazy. The mistake that I keep making when I try and turn on the sink is that it's normally labeled with C and F. Now, of course, we're all used to C being the cold water, but C stands for, I don't know how to say hot, but it begins with C. And then frigo is cold, so it's C and F. And I have made that mistake like umpteen times. The wine's good. We've been having a lot of that. We drink a lot of wine with most of our meals. It's almost, in some places, it's almost expected, which is fine. It's all really, really delicious. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm having a really good time. It's really, really hot, but that's okay. We have a pretty good breeze if we open the window, so it's bearable. We don't have internet in our apartment yet. We'll be getting that on Monday. So I'll be able to talk to everybody around more convenient times, because right now the only time I can really talk to anybody is between like 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. your time. And I know a lot of you guys are asleep. But yeah, so I hope everyone is having a really good time in California. Feel free to ask me any questions, I'll answer them. And I'll see you all in a few weeks, or whenever I post this next video.